When it was leaked that the upcoming Nintendo Direct is just a partner direct, I think every single Nintendo fan got disappointed. After a fairly slow 2025, the first year of the Switch 2, I think a lot of people, myself included, were expecting a big 2026. And so far we know about a few games. I've talked about those in other videos, you probably know what they are. And so far, pretty much all the games we know about should be coming in the first half of the year. Besides Fire Emblem, which is still like sort of a niche series, there's not really any huge Nintendo games coming out for the first half. Like there's some complimentary games. And we don't know anything about the second half right now. We don't have any big game announcements. We don't know about the next Pokemon generation. We don't know what Nintendo's doing for Zelda's 40th if they're doing anything. And the way it's looking now is it might just be a lost year for Nintendo. So it is too early to confidently say that, but if we look at 2018 for the original Switch, that year is pretty bland considering it's the first full year of the Switch. Of course, we got Smash at the end of the year, which really carried the whole year, but if we look at the other games that year, we got just a lot of ports. Like we got Captain Toad, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, and then we got a few new games like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I mean, those aren't really great Pokemon games. Super Mario Party, a kind of mid-Mario Party. Mario Tennis Aces, like, was alright. A couple Kirby games with only one of them being on the Switch. I don't think Star Allies is that good. I think it's alright, but not a top-tier Kirby game. So yeah, there was not much in 2018 that was brand new and that good for Nintendo. And there was the Nintendo Labo, I forgot to mention that. So that was kind of like a lost year outside of Smash at the end. It was kind of just building up the Switch library with ports and just these smaller titles, and most of them didn't even hit, if we're being honest. But this was also a little bit excusable because we did get Smash at the end of the year, and we got so many great games in 2017. Like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild carried that entire year. We got Xenoblade 2, we got Splatoon 2. And I think a lot of people looked past the weak year in 2018 because of that. But 2025 was not a strong year for Nintendo games. We got Mario Kart World, which very divisive game. Metroid Prime 4, another divisive game. Pokemon Legends EA, another divisive game. And then a couple games like Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment and Kirby Air Riders, which are more niche games. And games like Kirby Air Riders and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which are more niche games. So starting off the Switch 2 with back-to-back weak years is definitely a move by Nintendo. And again, this could change, but it's just very questionable why Nintendo is focusing so much on third-party support rather than their own games. Also, I completely forgot to mention Donkey Kong Bonanza. That was easily the best game for the Switch 2 last year. But it's just surprising that they haven't even announced like remakes of games. Like if they're not going to announce a brand new Mario, a brand new Zelda, a brand new Pikmin, brand new Animal Crossing, whatever it may be, you would think maybe they would have remakes of some classic games, but it doesn't seem like we're getting a direct soon with a partner direct coming up. So it is definitely cause for concern. I'm not freaking out yet because it's so early in the year, but let's say we get into like June and there's still almost nothing, then yeah, it might be time to call 2026 a bust for Nintendo. But now it's something like 3D Mario, which a lot of people were expecting to be announced. I'm not so sure about that anymore. I understand why it may not be announced yet because we are getting the Mario Galaxy movie in April, so they might not want to distract from that. But so far, I'm starting to get the vibe that it's just not coming out this year. I for a while, I was thinking it would, and I was really confident it would, but now I'm starting to think it's not. I'm starting to think that we'll probably get like one big holiday game, and I don't know exactly what it's going to be yet. I hope we at least get like a new Paper Mario game this year or something, or I'd even take a Paper Mario remake at this point. I just want to see something from Nintendo that says we're still making a lot of great games for this system, like big games for this system, not like Pokemon Pokopia, whatever it's called. Like, I guess that's a little interesting, but that's not a big game. The new Yoshi game, Mario Tennis Aces, like these are games that are not gonna be your system sellers. Like your Mario, Zeldas, Pokemons, even Fire Emblem, I guess you could consider that. Even Xenoblade maybe, even though those are still kind of niche series. Like no 2D Metroid, no Pikmin, no brand new Animal Crossing. We just got the Switch 2 edition, which I think was completely unnecessary. Now we're getting Mario Wonder on the Switch 2, which could be a reason why we're not getting a new 3D Mario. And if that's why they're delaying it, that's just ridiculous. It just seems like all Nintendo's big series are just getting Switch 2 editions now of games. And I think what might be going on is Nintendo is trying to get like these Switch 2 editions out, like trying to make as much money as they can from them while there's still like the novelty of that before starting to release their big games, like starting to release their new 3D Mario, new Zelda, whatever it may be. Because if they announced a new Animal Crossing, no one would buy Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 edition. So it could just be that they're working on the next Animal Crossing now, and that's why they released that. If it's actually delaying games, it's really disappointing. I've had a lot of problems with Nintendo doing stuff like this. And you're not really able to, like, I've had some discussions with people, you're not really able to have a rational, meaningful discussion about Nintendo without someone getting hostile. Some people blindly defend Nintendo so much, like where if you say, I'm a little disappointed by the lack of big games coming out in the system I paid $500 for, you'll have people just be snarky too. You'll have people say, oh, Nintendo's actually releasing a lot of games, you just have to wait. And yeah, they're going to release big games, but is it unreasonable to ask that those games come out within like 2 years of the Switch 2 coming out, at least some of them coming out? Because by the end of the second year of the original Switch, we had a new Mario, we had a new Zelda, we had a new Smash game, we had a new Xenoblade, we had a new Mario RPG, we had a new Kirby game, we had pretty much all Nintendo's big series have main series games on the Switch. Now we just have Switch 2 editions on Switch 2. So there's still plenty of time. I do want to reiterate, I'm not saying Nintendo's 2026 is completely over yet, because that would be ridiculous considering we have 11 months left in the year. I just want to know what's going on, like why we're seemingly not getting any news when we usually get a February Direct. Like, is there something going on behind the scenes? Is Nintendo really just trying to push Switch 2 editions for now? Are they trying to just push one game at a time? Because right now we have the Tomodachi Life Direct, so that's not coming out for another 2.5 months or so. So is that something they're trying to do, where they're just trying to market one game heavily before even announcing other games? I think that's a possibility, where they have the Switch 2 editions coming out. They have Mario Tennis Fever, they have Tomodachi Life, Pokemon Pokopia, if I'm even pronouncing that right. Like, could that be the reason why? Is it a new strategy from Nintendo? I don't know. I just think one of the things that disappoints me the most is it seems like we're not getting anything for Zelda's 40th, because I feel like that would have been announced in a Direct. Maybe they have a separate Direct for it, but I'm just not getting good vibes from Nintendo right now. I don't know if any of you feel the same way. Maybe I'm thinking too far into the future before any of this actually happens, but let me know in the comments. Are you concerned for Nintendo's 2026? Do you think that we're just overreacting right now? And I'll admit, maybe it is a little bit overreacting, but once again, I don't think it's unreasonable to have these concerns either. Nintendo's been making a lot of questionable decisions recently, like a lot of just straight up anti-consumer decisions, and also just a lot of questionable ones. So it wouldn't really surprise me if Nintendo just stops focusing on their own brand new games for now and just tries to push old games to sell. Because they have been extremely greedy in the past year or so. Like, there's no getting around it. I'm not saying Nintendo's never been greedy before, but like $80 for some games, like $80 for Mario Party Jamboree. I don't care that it's the Switch 2 edition. $80 for that is absolutely ridiculous. I think the whole Switch 2 edition pricing is unreasonable. So the fact that Nintendo may just be prioritizing those over new games is definitely something that I believe is a possibility that they're just doing. I don't hate Nintendo. I know people are going to comment saying like I'm a Nintendo hater, or other people are going to comment saying that I only defend Nintendo, but I think it's okay to be disappointed that y'all bought a $450, $500 system and just aren't getting the support that we would have hoped for at this point. Like, I don't like when Nintendo does like this radio silent stuff for brand new games. Like, I'm not saying they're radio silent entirely. We've got directs for specific games, but one of my favorite things about being a Nintendo fan is the directs. Like, just a 40-minute video where we just get announcements that you just wouldn't expect. And it seems like Nintendo, like, obviously they still use Nintendo Directs, but it's not the same anymore. Like, it used to have so much personality when Reggie was still with Nintendo of America, when Iwata was still alive, and it's kind of just lost all that soul, and that doesn't actually affect the games. I do miss the directs like that came out over a decade ago, so let me know in the comments what you're thinking, and be sure to subscribe.